All right. So today I have the honor of giving you one of our great Erics. We do have many great Erics, and this one is Eric Allen. He is a fantastic man. He's a great father from what I've been able to see. It always makes me laugh. We spent about 10 minutes getting to know each other today a little bit more. And I know he always brings so much blessings and passion and heart into everything that he talks to us about. And so I'm really excited to be here with you guys today and hear from the man who has the best hair on camera today, Mr. Eric Allen. Woo! Give Eric some love in
What's
the chat.
up, party people? How we doing? All right, we gotta look. I'm an energy guy, man. I'm gonna let you know a little secret. You talk about this idea of closing. How do I close somebody? How do I get somebody to join my business, do this, do that? I really don't like the word selling, closing. I prefer sharing, but I'm gonna let you know a little secret. Getting people to join you, it's just a transference of energy. You're just transferring your energy onto another human being. So I gotta get the energy up. I need to know where y'all tuning in from, man. Where my Indiana people? Come on now. My Midwest people, my West Coast people, my East Coast people. Put in your city. I gotta see. This is what I love. Having a global family. I know we get mostly crazy Americans and Canadians on these. I know some of my African team better be jumping on. They said they would. Come on now. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Keep it coming. There you are, all you new people who maybe jumped on here not even knowing what you really signed up for. You're part of a global, literally a global family right there. I look forward to the day, man. I just throw a dart against a map and I got a Vital Health brother or sister there. Man, I got to do Philip Fort Wayne, Indiana. I got a brother in Fort Wayne. I thought all the cool people moved out of Fort Wayne like 20 years ago, man. Apparently there's still a few up there. You need to get on down here to Zionsville, bro, and I'll get up there to Fort Wayne at some point. We'll hang out. So anyway, I love I'm an energy guy, so we're gonna get the energy up here. I'm gonna talk kind of briefly today. Those of you that know me, Colette's like my girl. She's like, yeah, right, Eric. You just can't help yourself, man. Why use 6 words when 18 will do? That's you. But we're gonna get right to the point. I do want to give a shout out to Adrielle. She's amazing. I love watching her get out of her comfort zone. She's stepped up. She's done some of these AM power calls, and she's a blessing to the company. She's got a heart of gold, man. Those are the people we want as some of the good stewards of our hopes and dreams. So, Adriel, we love you. We love your heart. We think you're a blessing, and just appreciate you stepping up, showing what winning's all about. So let's get right to it, man. When I get on these, I'm always a little cautious, right? And those of you that are brand new, we do these AM powers like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every week, same time, same place. And it's like if you were to block out a whole day, go to our YouTube channel, go watch the recordings. I mean, you're basically gonna have a blueprint to not only success in whatever goals, hopes, and dreams you have at Vital Health, you're gonna have kind of a blueprint of success in most areas of life. And every speaker comes in and I'm just blown away, like just the talent, the authenticity. I got a lot of respect for people that they can kind of back up their talk, so to speak. They speak with authority, authenticity, in genuine fashion because they've done exactly what they've said. And I just, and this isn't stuff they maybe did 10, 20, 30 years ago. Like they're right here doing the things that they're sharing with you. And I got a lot of respect for people that do that. And we have so much diversity that's growing in the company. And it's just one little piece, man. We do product showcase calls. We do super Saturdays. I mean, you analytical people, I mean, you come in, you're like, holy crow, man, I'm like, man, it's all good. It's all there. It's all there. We got stuff in the back office. We got new stuff. And it's just really cool to have a company that's got so much support in place, people pouring into the community, whether they're financially incentivized directly or not. It's really, really unique. So I'm always a little cautious when I get on here because, we got some of you all. I mean, you just maybe joined recently and you don't even know what you signed up for. Like my man V, like, dude, I don't know what you're doing. You're cool. Just sign me up. Here's my credit card. And he's like, all right, let's get you on this AM power call. And they're like, okay, you're here. We got other people. You've been here, from day one, which wasn't too long ago in North America and Canada. You get on here every morning because this is like your happy place. You're like, dude, these are like my people. I got to start my day off right. And, this is my tribe, man. My family's kind of negative. The media's kind of negative. My subconscious plays. This is a way to start my day. And that's awesome. And we got people, that are just like, right now, you're saying, Eric, man, bro, just shut up. Show me how I make some money, dude. I got to make some money. So you get all kinds here. And as speakers, like, because we want to be respectful of all your team support lines, we're just trying to do the best we can to give you value. And the goal really is, my goal is always in one talk, man. If I just get one bullet point, if I get one thing that just steers me 1% in the right direction, and I compound that day after day after day after day after day after day, man, I am going to be in greater pursuit and proximity of my hopes and dreams. And, it reminds me of a book called The Slight Edge. Have you ever read the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson? I mean, that's kind of one of those right next to your How to Win Friends, Influence People, Think and Grow Rich, Kiyosaki. I would encourage you to read Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to encourage you to read a book with me that I just ordered because a guy that I really look up to is one of my best friends, super successful. He recommended it about an hour before this call. And it is called Consistency is the New Currency. Consistency is the New Currency. It's written by George Campbell and Jim Packer, and it was written in 2018. You can knock that sucker out in probably half of a day. It's a pretty thin paperback book. So there it is. Consistency is a New Currency by George Campbell, Jim Packard. And the the synopsis, basically what it is, what I find is if you took the slight edge and you just drilled it down to a smaller version, it's a lot of those points, but it just talks about, what are you doing day in and day out? Day in and day out, when nobody's looking at you, you're not getting a pat on the back, you're not getting praise, you're not getting attaboy, attagirl, and you're doing this every single day, after day after day. You're mastering the mundane. And the next thing that happens is you got a timestamp. I don't know what your timestamp is. Only God knows. Maybe it's 3 months, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2 years. But then you hit this tipping point, and it's like, man, I did the same simple things day in and day out that, I was told or that I know to give me greater possibilities of success. And then this amazing new life unfolds, and it hits you really quick. And what's going to happen in Vital Health, guys, I promise you, just because I'm an OG, I'm an unk. I'm 49 years old. I've been around the game for a long time. It just hits you, and then people are like, "What? How did you do that?" And it's almost hard to quantify, right? It's like, dude, I just showed up every day, day in and day out, did the same thing, simple things, day in, day out, day out. And then success, happiness, abundance, it became inevitable. And it's really, really hard to quantify. For those of you shaking your head, you're like, yeah, I know. And it was that journey, not the destination, that got you there day in and day out. And that greatness is achieved in obscurity when nobody's around. And then convincing other people, well, that's kind of what I did. It almost is counterintuitive to them. And what's going to happen right now is I promise you the people, let me stay compliant here. Philip, you got to keep me compliant. Okay. I can assure you the likelihood of having amazing success and a lot of the things that maybe you never thought possible. You're in this really pivotal moment, okay? Because right now we're getting out of that dog days of summer. We're heading into August, September, October, which notoriously are some of the biggest months in the home-based entrepreneurial arena. And then we're leading into these great events like in Dallas, hope you get there. And certainly leading into Orlando for the Vital Fest, which I'm not, now I've only, this is going in my fifth month. Call it 5 months or we into 6 months. Anyway, we're treating it like this is like the official launch of this company for North America and Canada. And it's unlike any official launch that I've really seen ever, to be honest, because I don't know of any companies that kind of started growing their roots in another country, this one, Mexico, and then into Latin America, that proved without a shadow of a doubt that they're here to stay, they're here to win. I mean, you don't just do $100 million, in 1 year, close to $100 million by getting lucky. Okay. And you got now a 5 year track record, and then you get to say, hey, we're here in America, baby. I know Americans, I know sometimes we're entitled. I know, I get it, I get it, I get it. But that's pretty cool that you don't have to go through the normal heartbreak, heartache, frustration of a typical startup company. Anybody ever been in like a startup endeavor, dude? It's like, it always sounds good in theory, right, man? It's like, oh, it's gonna be great. I'm getting in early, man. I'll never do it again. Ever, ever, ever. I'm not going to do it to come into a startup that's not really a startup that's dug the roots deep. And what the company's been doing a brilliant job of is ironing out a lot of the inevitable kinks and, like cultural differences and support and marketing tools specific to the USA and Canada, celebrating that Latin America heritage. So I'm really looking at this as like a defining few months of the rest of the year where the efforts we take leading into that event in Orlando can springboard all of us into this epic, epic 2027 and beyond. I hope you share my enthusiasm. And you know what? I hope you hold me accountable. I hope you say, all right, Eric, I did what you said. And the final piece of that, though, is you got to get as many people as you possibly can in person in Orlando. Again, for some of you, I'm preaching to the choir. Others maybe kind of new or feeling this thing out. Just there's something magical that happens when you're in person, and you can't explain it. You can't. Something happens when you're in a room with 1,000, 2,000, however many people are there, and something happens. And some of you heard this expression, the final biggest decisions that have to get made, they're always made at the big events. Well, what bigger event than this coming out party in Orlando? And I wanted to get that. I had it on my notes here because we're ending July. Hopefully everybody's still got their fingers and toes from blowing up stuff last weekend for the 4th. We're getting into August, September, and then it's going to be here before we know it. So there's time to plan, right? There's time to plan to be there. And I'm just going to say, if at all possible, within reason, just do your best to be there. And more importantly, do your best to get as many people as possible on your team in that room. And then the magic really unfolds. It really does. And you'll find yourself becoming less significant to your business. Hopefully, you don't have a massive ego where it's like, it's all about me. I'm the show. I'm the guy. Because I don't know, when I was coaching college basketball, I figured out real quick if I was at the Division I level, if I'm recruiting a bunch of 6'2" white dudes like me that had my skill set, we're in trouble, dude. I mean, we got to get some people, and then in this moment, get them in an environment, where they want it for themselves. Okay, so I feel like if I'm going to have a serious talk about those of you that want to change your life here, you want more financial prosperity, and I've got people on my team. I mean, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. They need to make money. I mean, and they're like, hey, dude, this is great. I love the culture. I love the product. I love the technology. But I got to make money. And so I'm just telling those people, like, okay, if you're telling me you need to make money, I'm going to tell you what I believe and have proven over 20 plus years of doing this that is just universal. Get people to that event. Okay. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I don't want you taking out loans. I don't want you doing silly stuff if you truly are in a position where you can't be there. But only you can have an honest look in the mirror and say, okay, I can sacrifice this. I can move things around. I can budget this. I can make arrangements starting now to be there. And if that means you got to stack them deep in a hotel room and you're sleeping in a bathtub, I've been there. It's part of my story. It's going to be part of your story too, just getting there. Okay. So please, just a little tough love there. And, if you can be there, just be there. Okay. Now we talk about this idea of consistency. I mentioned this book. Hopefully you'll read it with me. Consistency is a new currency. It's like, what, well, Eric, what are we like? What do I do day in and day out? I mean, you're talking about, the consistency. Okay, kind of makes sense. But what does that really look like? Okay, now just showing up to the AM power call. Sorry, my daughter. Well, honey, uh, how much longer, guys? 15 minutes. Then I'll take you to your friend's house. 11-year-old daughter. Okay, so what does that look like? We're getting on the AM Power call every morning. Cool. Awesome. Getting on all the product showcase calls. Cool. Going through the policies and procedures, bylaws. Maybe if that's your thing. I haven't. I trust Alex. That's just not that guy. Whatever. And I say, okay, I'm not saying that's not important, but is that a direct money-making activity? I would say, no, it's not. It's not. It's not a direct money-making activity. Did any of you know people that I call them the personal development junkies? They go to a seminar after seminar after seminar after seminar after seminar, and they spend lots of money and they read lots of books and they listen to lots of podcasts, but their life doesn't seem to elevate in any way. Does anybody know people like that? Not you. I'm just saying, do you know somebody like this? I know lots of people like that. And I've just it's always bothered me. It's like what's the difference between people that maybe go to those, don't go to those, but then the ones that, do have the lifestyle that I want. And it just comes down to the transference of that knowledge. Are you willing to go out and do those things? That's where the rubber meets the road, right? And what I love about this business journey together, guys, I'm just telling you, I'm not going to promise you it's easy, but it's really, really simple. If you'll commit to just a couple things I'm going to mention today. And like anything, take it for what it's worth. Feel free to get with your support team, see if they agree with what I'm saying. I think they will, knowing most of the leaders we have here. And if you're willing to do these things, day in and day out with whatever time availability you have. I think everybody can find 30 minutes a day to commit to their vital health business in terms of the money making activities. I really do. No matter how busy we are, I think everybody can commit to 30 minutes per day. And some of you it can be more, depending on your unique situation. And what does that look like? Well, number one, you have to be opening your mouth and talking to people. Text is fine, okay? A lot of big textures out there, but you have to actually be sharing this business, this vision with other people. And when I say it's not always easy, the only hard part for a lot of us, I was guilty of it in the beginning, is so many people are addicted to the opinions of other people. And they don't naturally like rejection. They don't like being told no. They don't like being told, oh, is this one of those things? Oh man, Eric, be careful. You might go to jail. We've heard it all. You talk to anybody who's made money, in a home-based entrepreneurial venture, we've all heard it. And now the reality is most of us heard it in the very beginning. We were starting out because we were going to our friends and our family and the people closest to us. And unfortunately, it's just human nature. People that you think should be celebrating us, like, dude, you're starting a business. Like, I go to all the open house businesses in my local community. I'm supporting local. I'm doing this, and it's like, man, I'm starting a business here, and they're the ones that want to give you free advice. And instead of getting out of this race, where they should be clapping on the sidelines, like you got this, they're like kind of throwing sticks at your feet, trying to trip you up a little bit. Anybody had that happen before when you're starting out and it's kind of like, man, my friends, my family, these people should be like coming in and being a part of this, and they're the ones that are like, be careful, man. You might go to jail, you might go to hell, you might you hear all the crazy stuff in the beginning, and then you kind of step back and it's like, well, hopefully you're like, wait a minute, y'all, none of you really have the lifestyle I want. So you just got to be careful with free advice, because free advice is not free. It is the most costly thing that kills more hopes and dreams than anything else. Okay. So that's why I say it's not always easy, because you will have to overcome some of that, and some of you a lot of that. But I think most of the leaders on here would say they're like, it is a pretty simple business, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. At the end of the day, you just gotta sometimes get out of your own way and get out and share. Now, our comp plan, it's awesome. It's lucrative. It's got it's pretty brilliant actually. It's got all the behavioral triggers in there. The products, I mean, oh my gosh, like the more I'm still learning about the products, I just get blown away. The technology, the promotions, the new bundles that came out. It can get really easy in this company, like many, to kind of get lost in a lot of that stuff, especially if God blessed and cursed you at the same time with a very, very analytical mind, right? Because you got to know all this stuff. And Colette and I kid around, and some of our team, we're finding out new stuff every day. She's like, "Did you know this was there?" I'm like, "I know." Like my girl Donna's like, you could get like extra USB cords for you. I'm like, "No, where'd you find that at?" And that's great, but it didn't stop us from taking action, right? We didn't, you don't have to know everything. Um, what is it? You don't have to uh, be great to get started, but to become great. Wait a minute. You don't have to. Somebody put in the text. You know what I'm talking about. You don't have to be great to get started. You have to get started in order to become great. Okay. So now to the, I'm just going to give you two things really, really easy that are really working for me. And as long as I've been doing this, it's been really refreshing because I don't have to feel like I'm being anything less than authentic. I don't have to feel like I'm being deceptive. I don't feel like I'm selling people. I don't have to act like I'm, clearing the date and, invite you over to my house for a picnic and pull out a whiteboard and start drawing circles. I feel like there's two simple things that are really, really awesome here. Number one, what's working really well for me, and this is my personality. You can tell I'm a pretty fun guy. I'm also really competitive. I'm like, dude, bro, I got to get you scanned. And like, hey, girl, I got to get you scanned. And it's so funny. They look at me like, get me scanned. Like, what you talking about, man? I'm like, no, no, no. We got to find out what's going on with you, man. Like, technology is advancing like so rapidly. I got this device. It's actually going to give you this 120 plus page report, and it's going to show you things that you probably never even thought possible. And what I'm finding for me is 95% of people, after I kind of chuckle and say, okay, I'm not going to do something, inappropriate by scanning you, I explain what I'm going to do, they're very receptive to it. And you're going to get 5%, maybe 10% that are kind of weird about it and they don't want to know. They just don't want to know what's going on. I'm like, ignorance is bliss. I don't know. I'm just telling you, not everybody, but I'm finding the majority of people want to, oh, okay, you can do that. Yeah. People that are not in my physical location. Okay. That's where I'm getting them on a Zoom. That's where I'm maybe doing a screen share on my phone. That's where I show them my report. Okay, I show them my report to give them an idea of what it's going to look like. And obviously, this comes down to you having to have a scanner. I'm going to say physical scanner. That's what our team has decided. We're going to focus on the physical scanner. And then as the digital scanner evolves, we'll look at that. I don't know how you can be successful in growing the business if you don't have your scanner set up and working. If you can get a dedicated computer that's less than 200 bucks from Best Buy, great. If not, use your current computer, assuming it's Windows based. I just think simply you got to have a physical scanner. Okay. So that's one thing I'm doing day in, day out, day in, day out, day out. And it was the first time ever in the history of my entrepreneurial endeavor, I was able to take my computer and my scanner to the lake house we go to every summer. My wife's crazy, I hope she's not listening. My wife's crazy Polish family, is up there. And I've just found out like I'm not even sharing with them what I'm up to. I don't want to deal with some of their nonsense. But this is the first time I was able to take it there, and that they were lining up like, okay, okay, scan, scan, scan. Okay, I had to get it all done before noon because they are Polish and they do participate in alcoholic beverages quite a bit by the lake. So I wanted to get them, in the part of the day, and it was like 100%. And then, all the kids, all the cousins, they're all wanting to do it too. So that was like cool. I'm like, I could never do that in my travel company. I could never do that in other things that I've invested in or been a part of. So, hey, man, we got to get you scanned. Hey, friend, we got to get you scanned. Hey, girl, let's get you scanned. That's just working well for me. Again, just giving you an idea. Now, the second thing that, I also do, I've done this forever, is and for me, it's usually, we go out to eat a lot. I love the service industry. I was part of the service industry, servers, people, work at independent coffee shops, people that you're engaging with in conversation. I always try to start a new conversation every single day. That's one of my days. It's like, and those of you know me, it's just my personal. I just like to like find out about people. I love finding out about Adriel. Like, how did you get the name Adriel? Like, I'm inquisitive. I like that. And if you're kind of more of an introverted person, okay, you're going to just have to stretch your comfort zone. But I think the more you do, the more you kind of enjoy it. Like, I love humans, you know? The best part of the journey in life is human beings. The worst part is human beings. But man, you start getting great people, and some of your best friendships have yet to be made. They're going to be made in Vital Health, I promise you. So I'm always looking for like, I'm just looking like, man, you got a personality, you got a spark. Are you fun? Do you like seem like you're maybe not going to be a server the rest of your life? Do you kind of have like that, that personality, so to speak? I'm not prejudging, but I'm always looking for that. And this always works for me. I'm like, man, you might be like one of the best servers I've had in a long time. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm using server as an example. I'm like, dude, you're probably making a killing, probably crushing it here. And what do you think they always say? I mean, I wish, but I mean, pays okay, but yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm like, really? I kind of chuckle and smile, and I'm like, well, I mean, are you open to making more money? I, are you open to making more money? That's all I do. And I know I make it sound so smooth now. I mean, but I've been doing this for a long, long time. It was really weird and awkward in the beginning. It might be for you too. And I just shut up. And 95 times out of 100, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, who's not? You know, if they got a little sass to them, they're like, all right, well, what you got? What's up? And that's where I do kind of clear time. I'm like, look, man, I'm going to show you something, and it might be for you, it might not, but hey, I'm going to feel pretty bad if I don't at least share it with you. And that's where I just clear the date. And then what I'm going to do, instead of like I used to do, show them the business presentation first, and then show them, okay, well, here's the product, here's the service where you make money. I say, hey, the first part is I got to get you scanned. Like, get me scanned. I thought we were talking about making money. And I'm like, no, 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 no. The only way you can make money here is because there's like a real product that everybody really needs. Okay. And part of it's scanning to find out what's going on and have kind of a personalized approach to helping you get better. And I've also lately been using now, and this is like the future of healthcare. We're starting this movement right here. So, guys, that's just two simple things that, they're working for me. I'd encourage you to try it out. If you want to run it by your support team, be like, here's what Eric said he's like doing. I mean, and I hope most of you are like, well, I could do that. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could do that. I could even maybe do that 2, 3 times a day. I could collapse time frames. I could share with more people. And at the end of the day, your job here, description, if you're like, hey, I'm in this to make money, your job is to just get out and just share something. I don't, people are like, Eric, what are you sharing? Like, do you have a video? Or are you getting them on Zoom? Are you like going through the slide deck? And I'm like, yep, yep, yep. To me, you can't really show the wrong thing to the right person. Now, I do think you can say the wrong thing to the right person from time to time, and that'll evolve with more practice. But man, I'll take somebody who's just honestly a little ignorant and excited, and they're willing to just go through it and let them know, like, if they get a bite, like, man, this person like seems like they're like really interested. Like, can you help me out with like a 3-way call? Can we like do a Zoom? Can I introduce them to you? I'm like, absolutely, because we want to show them the power of teamwork. Okay, because that server job or whatever, they're just relying on their own efforts to make a paycheck, and most people don't realize, real wealth is a team building sport. So I love that coming in with that team aspect on the back end. So guys, look, I wanted to keep this short and sweet. I see, Colette, I told you I wasn't going to keep it under 20 minutes, but I hope you got something out of this. It's again nearly an impossible endeavor to please everybody, but hopefully you just got one or two things, man. And it's like, okay, I'll give it a shot, and maybe it altered your paradigm shift. Maybe just reading this book, Consistency is the New Currency, with me might be that 1% shift in your life or more. But I love this company, man. I hope you fall in love with it. I hope you treat it like this precious, precious gift. Because I'm not starting over, man. I'm not, I say never. I'm not jumping into another network marketing company. Like, I want to be here. I want to be here. I've been doing this 5 months, like every month it just compounds. Not every month's explosive, but it's like people are ordering again on their own. People are scanning again 90 days later sometimes and seeing some really good results. The products are amazing and they're affordable. They're coming out with new products. They're investing in people like Adriel and Jesse and all the marketing materials, all the systems and processes. And even in 5 months of me being in here, when I joined 5 months ago to what I see now, even the aesthetic of the back office and the app, I see it, man. I see it just getting better and better and better and better and better. And the very unique thing about Vital Health is today's the worst we're ever going to be. We didn't start this off as a hype driven thing where it's like we just got to make money, hoodwink people while we can, and we got this stale product or service or overhyped, overpriced deal. I mean, this thing really has the potential to last the rest of our lives. There's no guarantees, but this has the potential of very few companies I've seen to turn into like a much fun, sexier version of Melaleuca, a much fun, more sexier version of some of these companies that the reality is they've made thousands of millionaires. So whether you want to admit it or not, go do your own research. Some of these companies that you might think are boring and not your thing. I mean, if you're talking about making money, they made a lot of people a lot of money. We get a chance to do it, I think, in a much more fun way, a much more authentic way, a much more mass appealing way. And I've decided I want to be along for the ride. And not only that, I want to be one of the persons that helps create the culture that I want to be around, my family wants to be around. I'm the person that wants to like get on stage and pour into people and change their life and, maybe lead a few to Christ. Sorry, I got the mic. I get to say whatever I want. When you get to be a speaker, you can say whatever you want. So that's just what drives me. I want my kids to see their dad like pouring into people. And my hope is when my time on earth does come to an end, I mean, there's thousands of people at my funeral because I made an impact in their life. So, guys, love you. Appreciate you coming on. Let's finish this week strong. Please find the courage, conviction, motivation, whatever you got to do these daily disciplines, and all roads are leading to Dallas. I don't know if I think we might have another train, but definitely into Orlando after that. All right, God bless you. Have a great day. Go Team Vital. Bye bye.
Woo! Thank you, Eric. Good words today.
Brought the
Loved it.
heat.
Yes.
Thank you,
Good
Eric.
words.
Thanks,
Thank
Eric.
you,
Thank you
Eric.
so
God
Thank
much.
you
bless
so
you.
much, Eric.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Eric.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you,
you.
You will
Eric. That was
definitely
Thank
need
great.
to
you, Eric.
try.
Thank
That's
Enjoyed
the
you.
only
Mama
thing that
Donna.
matters.
All right.
Thank
God
you,
Do us
bless
a
you.
Eric.
Thank you,
favor.
bro.
Just
Thank you,
open your mouth
Eric.
and talk.
Grateful to
Such
be
a great
here.
call, Eric. Such a
Great
great
talk.
call.
Excellent.
Real tough
Thank you, Eric.
call,
Great
Thank
job,
you,
Eric.
Eric.
motivational,
That was
Spirit
really
is the
strengthening,
good.
and
kingdom.
uplifting.
Have a good
Hey,
day,
great
everyone.
call, Eric. Great
Everyone
call, bro.
have a
Thank
blessed
you.
day and
Thank you,
take
Eric.
care.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, you
Thank
guys,
you.
have a blessed day. Go out and scan
See,
some people, step out of your comfort zone, and make some new friends. We'll see
see
Blessings
you
you
and
in
love.
tomorrow.
Florida.
Will
Blessings and love
do.
to everybody.
Take care. Will do.